You ever wonder why some tech just clicks? It becomes this essential part of our lives, while other stuff, even really shiny apps, just kind of fizzles out. I mean, we all embrace smartphones, but what about that other cool gadget that just disappeared? Well, it turns out there's a surprisingly simple and honestly powerful model that helps predict the answer. It's called the Technology Acceptance Model, and believe me, understanding it is going to change how you see every single piece of tech around you.
Okay, let me throw a number at you. $36.6 billion. That's how much the US was expected to spend on office computer systems in just 1 year, 1988. This wasn't just, a new product category. It was an absolute economic tidal wave.
So picture it, the 1980s. Big hair, bigger shoulder pads. Companies were pouring absolute fortunes into what they called office automation. They were completely sold on the idea, convinced these powerful new machines were the key to productivity, the key to winning the future.
But there was a huge multi-billion-dollar problem. Despite all that cash being spent, a lot of these brand new, powerful computers were just sitting on desks, collecting dust. Yeah, the big promise of a tech revolution was smashing right into a very human roadblock. So what on earth was going on?
This brings us to Section 1, the billion-dollar problem. This huge, expensive gap between rolling out amazing technology and actually getting people to use it, well, that's the puzzle a brilliant researcher set out to solve. He wanted to crack the code of user acceptance.
And that researcher's name was Fred Davis, over at MIT. He figured the real holy grail wasn't just understanding failure after it happened. No, it was about predicting it. I mean, think about it. If you could figure out whether people would actually use a technology before you spent millions, you could save a fortune. And more importantly, you could build things people genuinely want and need.
Which leads us to Section 2. 2 key beliefs. See, Davis didn't think our choice to use or ignore tech was random. Nope. He argued that it all boils down to 2 fundamental beliefs that we form about any new piece of technology we encounter.
He called them perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. It's actually pretty simple. Every time we see some new tech, our brain is subconsciously asking 2 big questions. Is this going to help me? And how hard is this going to be? Let's dig into those.
So first up, we have perceived usefulness. This is the classic what's in it for me factor. Will this tech make me better at my job? Will it help me get things done faster or produce higher quality work? It's all about the payoff, the tangible benefit you expect to get.
And the second belief is perceived ease of use. This is the how much of a headache is this going to be question. Is using this thing going to be straightforward, intuitive, and frustration-free? Or is it going to be a confusing mess that I have to fight with? It's all about the effort involved. All right, Section 3, putting the model to work. Because look, a theory is one thing, but proof is everything. Davis didn't just dream this up and call it a day. He designed a super rigorous process to see if his model actually held up in the real world. And I mean, his process was thorough. He started with established psychological theories, tweaked them for technology, and then created these very specific, measurable survey questions. And then came the moment of truth. A real-world field survey with over 100 employees and a controlled lab experiment with 40 MBA students. This wasn't just an idea anymore. It was about to get tested with cold, hard data. And this is how he did it. This is how he made these abstract feelings totally concrete. He didn't just ask, so, is email useful? No way. He asked people to rate statements like, using electronic mail increases my productivity. And for ease of use, learning to operate the electronic mail system is easy for me. By having real people rate their agreement on a simple scale, he brilliantly turned these subjective beliefs into data he could actually analyze. Okay, now for the good part. Section 4, the surprising verdict. The data was in, the numbers were crunched. So, what did he find? Which of these 2 beliefs is the real king when it comes to deciding if we're going to use a new piece of tech?
So just think about it for a second. In your own life, what usually wins out? A really powerful tool that's, let's be honest, a bit of a pain to learn, or a super simple tool that doesn't really do all that much? Usefulness or ease of use? What do you think?
Well, the data came back with a crystal clear, powerful answer. As Davis himself put it, usefulness was the primary determinant of whether someone would accept a new system.
Above all else, we choose to use technology that we believe, deep down, will make us better at what we do.
And you can really see it in the data. When you look at the direct impact these two beliefs had on people's attitude and their intention to use the tech, well, usefulness just blows ease of use out of the water. It has a dramatically stronger effect. It's not even a close fight. But wait, that's not the whole story.
Because here's the crucial twist in the model. Ease of use is still incredibly important, but its main power is indirect. Think about it. If a system is really simple and intuitive to operate, we start believing we can actually master it and get more done with it. It makes a system feel more useful. So in other words, ease of use is like the ultimate wingman. It's there to support and amplify usefulness.
And that brings us to our final section, why this still matters. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool story from the 80s, but what does that have to do with my life today? Well, the truth is, the principles of this technology acceptance model, or TAM for short, are more relevant right now than they have ever been.
Seriously, this model explains so much of our digital lives. It's the reason why we'll grind through learning complex but incredibly powerful software like spreadsheets or design tools. The usefulness is just off the charts. It also explains the massive graveyard of slick, simple apps on our phones that we download, use once, and then delete. They were easy, sure, but they didn't solve a real problem for us. For anyone building a product today, the lesson is clear. Start by solving a genuine user need. Don't just make it easy. It really all boils down to this one simple truth. People don't use technology because it has a long list of features. They don't use it because of a flashy interface. They use it for what it can do for them. We adopt tools because we believe they will help us achieve something important.
So this gives you a powerful new lens for your own life. The next time you're about to download a new app, or try a new gadget, or sign up for a new service, just stop and ask yourself that core question. Is this just easy, or is it genuinely useful? Making that one little distinction might just change which technologies you decide to let into your life for good.